Hello everyone, my name's Rizival, and today I'm going to be drawing my favorite characters. So I know I talked about them last video, and I figured I'd, just draw some of them. So start off very simple with the most recognizable character, the mascot of Karker Studios, my boy. Everyone loves him. It is Jimmy. Look at that face. That is the face of the greatest character design. Yeah, but I will actually attempt to draw him. So we'll just do a top body point of view, So or maybe we'll just do like the head things, and we can like use those for other things in videos. I don't know. Like I'll draw like the heads of all my favorite characters. It's a pretty cool idea. So we gotta start with, I always start with when I draw Jimmy, is I start with this right here, which is the bottom of his beanie, which actually I need to move down to the center of the screen. But yeah, so after you draw this, it's kind of like a very fat line. It had too much to eat. And then you're gonna go out here. You're gonna make this round top on it, and bam. So then you're gonna go here, and you're gonna see where this lines up, right? But you don't want to line up perfectly. You want to make it a little smaller, and then you do a very long face. That looks terrible. Very long face. Damn, it's that turn is getting me. I'm not used to. There we go. So then you start with the next thing, and you give him his, what the hell? Okay, you give him his nice big eyebrows, large circular eyes. Give them the dots. I'll make them a little bigger so it doesn't look as deranged. It's a little deranged when I make it that small. These are more circular. Okay, that's fine. A nice little nose. And of course, his expression. And then we can just fill tool, just fill that in. And then get the edges here, because it doesn't fill it all the way in, because that would just not be good. I might lose my tracking here for a sec. There we go. And now it's on to Blegs, who's technically a separate character. Jimmy's head just looks like this. I usually just draw his face on like things. What the hell? Go away, little guy. It's a piece of hair, not a bug. Alright, so how we're going to do Blegs is he is technically very different. And so sometimes I do outline, sometimes I don't. But I think just to keep the look consistent, I'm going to do outline. So, because sometimes I'll just have it be like a solid color. So then Blegs' eyes look like this. They're like little, I don't know, tops that you spin. Like I know that like on the actual version I have, they're like Christmas light looking ones, but I like this shape a little better. If I ever make a plush of Jimmy, which I really want to do, because it would so let me tell how Jimmy came into existence. So I'm drawing on the background. Whoopsies. But yeah, so one day I noticed that I got too big, so I had like an orange morph suit that I always loved to wear because I'm very into character design, if you can't tell. And what better way to design a character than to become the character? Because that's always fun. So I'd design costumes and stuff. And so then I'd be like, oh, cool. So I'm Birdman or whatever, which is actually another character, but that's for later. But so I was also obsessed with creating little fabric creatures. So like I'd get fabric and I'd cut them up and I'd make these little things called twiddle legs, I like to call them. They're like based off a character from a book. I think it's from Freddie Community Funk, but I don't even think that's how you say his name. It's like, yeah. Yeah, I made these little guys, and so I was like, you know what, let's make a big fabric creature. So I just grabbed a bunch of my random fabric and clothes I didn't wear, and I stuffed them inside of this morph suit. I put my tie-dye shirt and some shorts that I didn't wear because they were white, and so they would end up see-through a lot of the time. Can't have that. That would be weird. And so I just decided to put them on Jimmy, and then I gave him a little hat to get rid of his bald head. Because yeah, Jimmy is canonically bald. He has no hair. There you go. Yeah, if you were wondering, but yeah, no, he's bald. And bam, Jimmy was created just like that. And so like I would go around parading him around, showing him off to my family members. I think this is when I was I 9? I think it was when I was 9. I was a weird kid, okay? So don't judge me too much. But yeah, I created this silly looking guy, put this silly little face on it, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then we're having adventures with him and stuff. And then I remember my mom would always come, and she would, whenever she got home from work, she would forget that I'm still on the face layer. Okay. Oh, we're still on that. But my mom would come home and she'd always sit back down in the same place every day on the couch. And so I was like, oh, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll put Jimmy there so she can meet Jimmy. And so I hid him under the blankets and stuff. So I thought, oh, this is going to be awesome. She's going to have the greatest reaction ever. It was a terrible first impression of Jimmy. I want to redo that. I should probably move it off that layer too. But yeah, that's Jimmy's head is done. Am I getting a text message? Oh, yes I am. Okay. Dude, go away, Video Studio. What the hell? I'm getting all the pop-ups. But yeah, and so my mom came home and she went really loud. I actually remember I heard her like yell like, "What is this?" She got jump scared by this orange guy, and I'm like, "It's Jimmy. What are you talking about? Everyone knows Jimmy." And I think that's when the hatred started. I remember there's been multiple threats on his life, attempted burning, hanging, like destruction in general of Jimmy. But it's all good fun, and she knows that there's nothing she can do to fight him because he is my most favorite creation. I honestly don't know what I would do without my little guy. Like, I remember, so I created him 9 years ago, which means he's existed, or not 9 years ago, I created him when I was 9. So yeah, that was 9 years ago. I did the math perfectly in my head. Just trust your instinct and do math. He's been around for quite a while. Remember, because then we moved from where we were to a new place, and I don't know if I can find the image, but so at that point Jimmy had been standing up, which caused a lot of things. So I had bow stash from when I used to do Taekwondo, because they're like, oh, you need to learn to protect yourself, and I'm like, cool. I want to do the cool ninja moves. And then I almost made it to black belt, but then I just like, no, I don't want it anymore. I don't want it. And so, yeah. Let me just fill in the colors here. I'm just sitting here yapping at the camera, not doing anything. There we go. Yeah, and so I was like, ooh, nope, that's not there. I was like, yeah, I need to have my boy around at all times, I don't know what happened over here. But yeah, he's been around for quite a while, and so then when we moved to where we are now, I remember I was like having this character creation spree because I was like, because I want to make a show with all of my characters in it, and like have it be a big thing that I do, and it kind of like it's like a message, like my life story kind of thing. But I also want to tell their individual stories first, so I got to work up to that. It's like this. It's gonna be like this whole Marvel Cinematic Universe thing, but I don't know. But yeah, Jimmy was one of the first to like. He's like the first like character installated. He's not like the first one that like based off of like first one I would meet. But he's definitely my favorite out of by far for character design. He's just perfect, and he got more perfect. So I'm always about like creating costumes and stuff, and Jimmy's more is right there. And so I remember I got really into Meta Runner. I was a really big fan of Meta Runner, so I was like, I want to make something that looks like a Meta Runner arm from Meta Runner because that's sick as hell, and I want to be able to play video games better. Cause a little baby man. So I don't know what to do here. I cut off Jimmy's arm and attempted to make it into a robotic looking arm. And I felt really bad for it because I didn't want to take Jimmy's arm. That's not very nice. Like, what the hell's wrong with me? Why would I do that? And so I just said, what if we, what is going on here? What the hell? I know I got rid of that background, right? Yeah, I did. That's weird. Why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? Copy of background. What the fuck? I'm just gonna, delete all of this and restart. Let's just try this again. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe it's because I don't have another monitor. I don't know. Maybe that's the problem. There we go. Let's just actually make a different layer this time. That will probably solve our problems. But yes, So yeah, then Jimmy gained a metal arm, which is like his main attack form. Is like he just goes and he hits you with his metal arm. And I always thought of Jimmy being like, it's really like goofy. He's like he keeps his like fabricness, but he has like life to it, kind of feel. So like his metal arm is very like stiff and robotic, and then his other arm is all it's like all waving and stuff. I don't know if that showed up, but I was putting my arm up. But yeah, I kind of want him to be very goofy. And so like I remember when I did his run animation, when I was trying to do a run animation because I was like working on stuff for like his 3D model, which I'm gonna redo. So, but practically he would when he would sprint, right? So he'd go like this, and then you have that, and then that, and then that, and then that. I think people are home. That's not good. But then you have his head right here, right? And you'd have this, and like his hat, right? And so there would be, I think, actually, no, wait, they were farther back. So he was like really far back. Yeah. Like, it was really accentuated. And his legs were really far out, and so like his head was back here, and his metal arm was like normal. It was being like that, right? So like we'll do like Minecraft arm, and his other arm was like way back here like that. And his eyes were like, his eyes like had popped off of his face and were looking up to see where he was going. So like, he looked like sort of like this. It was really weird, and I loved it. Which I want to redo, but like make it better. But yeah, that would be what he looked like, and he'd just be sprinting. But yeah. But yeah. Let me restart. But like yeah, and then let's talk about our favorite little guy, Blegs. I've ruined this beanie already. Bam. And he came along when I was in my like, I want to make more characters and stuff. And so I was like, what could I do? And so I thought, what if like I had a little guy that was like Jimmy, like a beanie, and he had legs, and that's where his name came from. His full name is Beanie Legs, which is shortened to Blegs. So it's like it's Beanie. Oh, crap! No, I didn't want to do that. Beanie Legs. So you just take the entirety of legs and the B from beanie, and you get Blegs. Perfect name. And for a perfect little boy. Hold on, let me draw him with just the legs. Hold on, I'll get rid of the bottom half of Jimmy's face. He doesn't need it. So like we draw Blegs here. This is very interesting eye shape, and then just do a basic smile for now. So, but like his legs go down, and he has like a little foot. And bam. And bam. And he's got different colored feet. One is like yellow, one is silver grayish, and his legs are both like silver. Because he has bionicle legs in real life, and that's what I based off of. So you know what? There it is. But yeah. And that's how Blegs came around, and I really liked him. And so I started like kind of figuring out the dynamic between these two. So I've always tried to envision a voice for Jimmy. Yeah, I was probably trying to figure out what to do, and I could never really like find a voice for Jimmy. It's a very hard task to have someone whose face looks like. Hold on. God damn it! I can't draw circles. Ew. Why can't I just complete the circle, man? Okay, there we go. His face looks like this. Why is it lagging, bro? I swear I'm gonna eat this pen if it keeps lagging. But yeah, like, I mean, what do you do when you have a face like this? And like, he just always looks like that perpetually, by the way. His face doesn't really change except for like his eyebrows and eyes getting a little bigger to show off like surprise or like his eyes being closed. Which he can close his eyes. But yeah. Like, but his expression doesn't really change. His mouth doesn't really move. So like, what I thought, Blegs would do all the talking, and Blegs kind of has this like, he's got this kind of like annoying voice. But he's so because he's like so when I was envisioning these two, it's for like a game I want to make. Like I think I talked about, but like so Blegs kind of like gives you the tutorial on how to do things, like kind of Mario and Luigi's Starlo kind of style. So I wanted him to have like the same kind of energy and be sassy as hell. I think that'd be funny. So this pen is going to be the end of me. I swear it on everything, bro. But yeah, so nope, too wide. But yeah, and so I'm like, so Blegs is like, hold on, let me try and get into the voice. Come on, Jimmy, we gotta go over there. No, not over there, you stupid man. This way, Dion. How to use your ability? You know, kind of that kind of annoying little voice. It's not. Well, I wouldn't say it's annoying, but it's like supposed to be kind of like know-it-all-ish. I don't know. Maybe it's just annoying. I don't know. That's just kind of the voice I've envisioned for him. Which I don't know if gender is important to you guys, but they are both technically male, but Jimmy doesn't have any genitalia, and I don't think Blegs does either, because they're both. So Blegs was not really like a beanie starting out. He's the last of his kind, which is a species that's like, they're like kind of like ghosts that are able to inspirit objects. And his just happens to be Jimmy's hat. And so when they meet, he was captured by the main villain of the game. Well, I'm not going to spoil just yet. Maybe in a different video. But, but practically, yeah, he escapes from the bad guy. And then he goes and he finds Jimmy, who is this heroic kind of guy. Oh, I'm not using the eraser. And, yeah. They, you know, and so they have like a telepathic kind of link because he sits on his head. So, I mean, he's close to his brain because Jimmy actually does have a brain. It's green. Don't ask why there's so many specific details about these two. Jimmy also has a heart. That's still red. It's not green. But yeah. But yeah, these two have just kind of been kind of my favorites. I love Blegs. He's just a cute little guy. I remember there's like, I don't know if anyone else has heard of it, but TV Hobson on Scratch made Super Scratch Bros. And when I was younger, I would always like remix it and like put my own sprites into it. So I remember I made the Kirby Jigglypuff character into Blegs, and I translated Blegs so well into that. I love it because like he's got this goofy little walk animation where his legs like kind of slide into his body and he acts like pistons, and it looks so cute when he's just moving around and he does like this. He does spins for like the up airs and stuff, and I'm like, oh, he's so cute. And, like,